Hey, Pretty Girl Club. Welcome to another episode of the Exotical Storytime series. If you're new to this channel, be sure to check out all of the story times. That is where the subscribers can email me at exoticalsunited@gmail.com and tell me your stories of things like colorism, texturism, and featureism, because it's time for us to get our side of the story heard, and we can't all be lying. We've got 17,000 people on this channel at this point, so we can't all be making things up. But let's go ahead and get into this story. This girl says, "So I was adopted when I was 7. My biological mother didn't want my mom because she was, and I quote, too dark. Yikes. So my broken mother grew up to have me by a light Afro Puerto Rican man whom I hadn't seen since I was a toddler. Double yikes. Fast forward, a southern, overweight, bigoted, dark-skinned black woman adopted me when I was 7. No problem. I seem lighter in pictures, but I'm brown myself. I have type 4 hair myself. Perfect fit, right? Wrong. She was a devil in disguise. Growing up, she always chastised me for trying to be cute. She would cut my hair like clockwork because all that long hair is too grown. You're trying to be fast. I was never allowed to wear skirts or dresses unless to church. I wasn't allowed to wear high heels and no makeup, even just a little bit. Lip gloss, even just Vaseline, was being too fast. What does that even mean? Yeah, I've noticed that a lot of people face, like, I call it the pretty girl whore stereotype. Like when you are pretty and you're a young teenager, and basically when you're sexually attractive to perverted men, then suddenly you're called fast. I've noticed that I've had that experience. A lot of women on this channel have had that experience of adults actually projecting that onto them and accusing them of trying to talk to boys and stuff like that, or being boy crazy. I remember I got accused of being boy crazy. I stayed a virgin all the way until my late 20s. And it's like people, they just project that onto you because you're desirable, or like in their eyes, they think that you're desirable to men. But it's like, why are you viewing us as desirable when we're only children? But okay. So I've noticed that's a very common stereotype. She says, all hell started to break loose when I was 15 for my sister's wedding. My sister had paid for us to get our makeup done since the makeup artist worked by the hour instead of separate payment per person. I had never worn makeup before. I didn't know how she was going to style me, so I just let her work. When my mom saw me, she flipped. She didn't say anything about it. She just immediately started pushing me away and cussing at me. My sister's bridesmaids looked on in disbelief and horror. Her maid of honor had to help me do my hair while I tried not to cry about how nasty my mom just got for no reason. It was so sad. Yeah, she sounds like one of the typical jealous, toxic mothers where she saw how beautiful you looked with your makeup, and then suddenly you went from being this cute child to like being a threat. She says, when I looked in the mirror, I was amazed. I looked so beautiful, like the pretty golden girls in the magazines. I was starting to understand why my mom was always so mean. When I started experimenting with how to do my makeup, trying to recreate that fateful day when I looked so gorgeous, my mom officially became my bully. She would leave me at home out of spite. She would rush me out the door before I could even put my shoes on. She would leave me at home for wearing shorts or tank tops in 90 degrees, keep in mind. It's as if me being beautiful was a death sentence. She was a monster. She herself had horrible scars and hyperpigmentation in her skin, facial hair from hormones, no eyebrows, thick glasses. It was so obvious why she hated my guts, but it was still so sad. Yeah, I've noticed that a lot of women who get jealous of pretty women, usually it's based on the male gaze, and especially if you are pretty and you are in proximity to someone who is not, or someone who views themselves as not being pretty, because they feel like that's not fair. You're my sister. Like, we have the same genes, we have the same DNA, we have the same features. How dare you get pretty privilege and have similar features to me? How dare you have these slight differences from me, yet you're treated like a totally different person? And I've noticed that some people who are in your family and they try to humble you, sometimes when you have a jealous family member, they already know that once you go out into society, you're going to get pedestalized. They already know that you're going to be receiving pretty privilege and all kinds of other privileges. And so they want to make sure to get your self-esteem just low enough so that you still remember those stinging words that they used to say to you. They want to make sure that your self-esteem is just low enough so that you never feel confident when you go out into the real world. But have any of you guys experienced this? Let me know what you think in the comment section, and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.